Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new, my name is Lily and I'm a Chinese transracial adoptee. Every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, I post videos about my experience as a transracial adoptee, so if that's something you're interested in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the video. Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode. This one I have not outlined or planned at all, so we will see how it goes. But it's just kind of a spur of the moment filming session, and it's about representation in pop culture and the media and that kind of thing. And I know I already sort of talked about this on my adoption in the media and talking about little fires everywhere, but especially in quarantine, I've really been trying to diversify and decolonize my bookshelves. I've been listening to almost exclusively artists of color when it comes to music, and now I've really been watching a lot of Asian television. And so I just want to talk about how important it is for people of color, and especially transracial adoptees, to have that representation, because I didn't have a lot of it growing up, and now I'm actively seeking it out. And it's honestly a very surreal experience to see people that look like me on my TV and to listen to them speaking in their native languages. And I have no trouble reading subtitles. And I don't know, I guess I'm just like, wow, this is what other people, non-people of color, must feel like all the time. But it's so normal to them that it doesn't really resonate with them when they see themselves reflected. When I see it, it's very heartwarming, and I can relate so much more, and I feel really good about myself. I see Asian actors and I listen to the music, and I'm reading books, and I'm like, wow, if they can do this stuff, so can I. And one of the great things is, like, when I watch movies and TV, I always kind of put myself in the shoes of the protagonist or whatever, and I really try to relate. But it's always hard because I'm not white, and so when I only see white main characters, I'm like, okay, personality-wise, we're kind of the same, but like, they don't really represent me. They don't go through the same struggles I go through. They don't go through this. But then I delve into the Asian pop culture media world, and it's a completely different story for me. And I wish that I had that growing up, because now that I'm seeing it more, I feel way more confident and way more proud to embrace my own Asianness. And that's something that I say that we should all do anyway, like embrace who you are, embrace your identity, but it can be so scary to do that when you don't see anybody else doing it. When you have being Asian so normalized in the media you're consuming, it becomes very normal for you too. And so now I'm very much into it, and I want to learn more about my culture. I want to learn more about my race. And when I was younger, I definitely tried to be white, and I tried to identify as white. And for a long part of my life, I thought I was white. And now I'm almost 26. By the time you're watching this, I think my birthday will be in 2 or 3 weeks. But I'm in my late 20s, and part of embracing myself comes with growing up and maturing and just having more life experience, but it also comes with more representation and seeing more people like me and getting excited that there are other people like me out in the world. And I think it's important for transracial adoptees especially to see that, because they don't have that representation in their own home, and they may not have it in their community either. The few Asian families, the few Asian students in my community, they were also still marginalized, and we all had to work to fit in. And so that's what I've been doing my entire life. With representation, I'm like, oh, they're just proud to be Asian. They can do what they want. They can live their life, be Asian, and be proud of it. And it's fine. It's very validating to know that I can do that too. And I know with media, it's fiction, it's made up. But still, just seeing those faces it makes me very proud to be Asian. And I am very thankful for that. And I'm in just like this completely new stage of life where it's not that I'm just trying to fit in as an Asian person. It's that I want to be Asian and people just need to accept that about me. And I think it's just that subtle difference. That shift for me really came from representation. And I think the most interesting part of this is as I have more representation and as I relate more to the characters that I'm reading about or watching or listening to, when I start consuming media that doesn't represent me, it's not as interesting to me anymore. And so, like with my bookshelf, I used to hoard books. I was like, no, I can never get rid of books. They're books. Like everyone's like, no, you don't throw away books. And I don't throw them away. I donate them or I give them away. But now I look at my bookshelf and I decide which ones I need to get rid of first. And it's always the ones that don't represent me. And so I'm like, yeah, it was a good book. It was a good story. It was a good plot. The characters were deep, whatever. But there's no representation in it for me. And so I would rather replace that with a book that I can relate to more and I can read about people experiencing the same struggles and microaggressions and racism that I'm experiencing. Then even if it's not this in-depth story, I actually prefer that when it's just like a chick lit book, just completely indulgent to read, but it's about a person of color, or more specifically, a Chinese American, like Crazy Rich Asians. It was very satisfying to just read a normal fiction book that happens to have Asians and people of color in it. And I think that's one of the struggles with representation, is that it feels like every piece of work that represents people of color, a marginalized community, needs to do like 100% of the advocacy work too. And I mean, it's great to have that education and advocacy out there, but at the same time, if I'm reading a book and I want to escape the world and stuff, sometimes it's nice to just read a fun summer read. And it's even better when that fun summer read has people that represent you in it. If transracial adoptees can't find that representation within their own communities, which they should, and their parents should be helping to offer that, but media is a great way to find it. And I listen to music. I just go on Spotify and I find artists and they'll recommend new artists to you. And then like Netflix and all the streaming services have so many titles and projects that represent us. Yeah, I'm proud to be who I am, and I'm so happy that I'm able to feel this way because more things are being produced and consumed that represent me. And so I would really recommend parents finding stuff like this for your children. If you're a transracial adoptee and you have access to the internet and everything, just find some titles, find some music, and just delve into it. For me, it felt a little weird at first. I was like, whoa, so many Asians on the screen. Like, this is kind of weird for me, but it's really cool. And yeah, that's the video. We need representation. It's really important. And I think it's, again, especially important for transracial adoptees because they don't get that representation at home. So yeah, I hope you're staying safe and doing well. Again, I'm filming this 2 months in advance, so who knows what the world is like when this is being viewed right now. But if you're interested in more videos, you can always check out these two right here. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.